RX-93 Nu Gundam. Technical specifications and operational data. Classified. You want to know what makes me different? I'll tell you. Every Gundam before me was built by engineers who thought they knew what a pilot needed. I was built by the pilot. Lieutenant Commander Amuro Ray didn't just request me, he designed me. Sat down with October Saran at Anaheim Electronics Von Braun factory and said, "This is what I need to end a war. Not win it. End it." There's a difference. Most machines are built for the fight. I was built for what comes after. Let me give you some context. By Universal Century 093, the Federation had the J-GAN. Solid machine, reliable, mass-produced. They had the Re-GZ, a limited production unit that tried to echo what the Zeta could do. None of it was enough. Char Aznable had come back with the Sazabi, a Newtype mobile suit with enough firepower and presence to make the entire Federation fleet nervous. He wasn't just building an army, he was dropping an asteroid on Earth. Axis. The plan was extinction, so Amuro needed something specific. Not the biggest, not the most heavily armed. He needed a machine that could think as fast as he could, a direct extension of his will. And that's exactly what they built. 22 meters at the head, 23 overall, 27.9 tons dry, 63 fully loaded. Those numbers don't sound dramatic until you compare them to what came before. The Double Zeta weighed 68.4 tons and generated 7,340 kilowatts. I generate 2,980, less than half, and I outperform it in every combat scenario that matters. You know why? Because raw power was the old philosophy. I represent the new one: efficiency, precision, intent. My reactor doesn't need to scream. It needs to sustain. Simultaneous beam rifle fire, fin funnel deployment, and Psycoframe interface, all at once, without stuttering. That's what 2,980 kilowatts does when every watt goes exactly where it's supposed to. Total thruster output, 97,800 kilograms. 4 main thrusters at 18,300 each. 2 sub-thrusters at 12,300. 26 apogee motors for fine attitude control. Acceleration, approximately 1.55 G. Every number tuned specifically to match and exceed the Sazabi's combat envelope. This wasn't a general-purpose arms race. This was a surgical answer to a specific problem. Now, the thing everyone wants to talk about. The Psycoframe. Every Gundam that came before me had some version of this idea. The original RX-93 had a learning computer that adapted to Amuro's reflexes. The Zeta had a biosensor that amplified pilot brainwaves. The Double Zeta pushed it further, overriding mechanical limiters when Judao's emotions spiked. All of them were reaching for the same thing. They just couldn't get there. The Psycoframe got there. Microscopic Psycommu circuits built directly into my cockpit's metal frame. Not a separate system bolted on. Not an add-on. The frame itself is the interface. When Amuro sits in my cockpit, the boundary between his nervous system and my control systems dissolves. His thought becomes my action. No lag, no translation, just intent and response. Think of it like this. Every phone you've ever used has a screen between you and the information. Imagine if the screen disappeared and your thoughts just were the interface. That's what the Psycoframe does. And that's why I don't need the raw power the Double Zeta carried. I don't waste energy on translation. Every joule goes to execution. Armaments. My beam rifle runs variable power settings. Battleship-class sustained fire when I need it. Precision shots when I don't. The new Hyper Bazooka, 280mm caliber, backpack mountable, wire transmission firing capability. 60mm Vulcan guns in the head for missile interception. Close quarters. This is where Amuro's design shows. My primary beam saber has a curved hilt, custom, and a pommel emitter on the back end. During a saber lock, while the enemy focuses on the main blade, I ignite the pommel and end the conversation. That's not an engineer's idea. That's a veteran who's been in saber locks and thought, I need an exit strategy. Spare beam saber in the left forearm rack. Standard output. Because Amuro plans for the moment you lose your primary weapon. My shield isn't just defense. It carries a beam cannon with its own independent generator, output comparable to a one-year war-era beam rifle. 4 internal missiles for interception and distraction. Composite Gundarium alloy. It's a weapons platform that also blocks beam fire. Amuro doesn't believe in carrying anything that only does one job. The Zeta said the same thing. So did the Double Zeta. Guess it runs in the family. And then there are the fin funnels. 6 asymmetrical remote weapons mounted on my left shoulder in wing formation, controlled through the Psycoframe. Here's what makes them different from every remote weapon that came before. The Kubelis funnels and the Sazabi's funnels run on capacitors. They fire until the charge runs out, then return to dock and recharge. My fin funnels have their own internal generators. They don't run out. They fire longer, hit harder, and stay in the fight while the enemy's funnels are heading home to recharge. But the real trick? The fin funnel barrier. My funnels arrange into a geometric pyramid formation and generate an eye field. 360-degree defense against beam weaponry and physical projectiles. No other mobile suit's funnel system can do this. The Sazabi can attack with funnels. I can attack and defend simultaneously. That's the difference between a weapon designed for aggression and one designed by someone who knows you have to survive the fight to win it. Variants. The double fin funnel configuration doubles my remote weapons to 12/6 per shoulder. Trade-off is losing my backpack beam saber rack, but 12 generator-powered funnels creating overlapping fields of fire makes close combat someone else's problem. The heavy weapon system, 87 metric tons, additional armor plating with integrated thrusters, so I don't lose mobility. A hyper mega rifle for long-range engagement. A high mega shield mounting 2 mega particle cannons. When the situation calls for overwhelming force, I can deliver it. I just don't need it most of the time. And then there's the Nu RX-93 version 2. The completed vision, what I would have been if Amuro had more time, more compact at 20 meters, hyper mega bazooka launcher, and the funnels are rechargeable through the rack binders. No docking required. The Nu is me without compromise, me without a deadline. But time is what we didn't have, and what I was, incomplete or not, was enough. Universal Century 093, March 12th, the Battle of Axis. Char dropped the asteroid. The fleet couldn't stop it. Amuro and I pushed against 5.6 billion tons of rock falling toward Earth. The Psycoframe resonated, not just with Amuro, with everyone. Federation Zeon, soldiers on both sides who chose in that moment to push instead of run. The frame channeled all of it. Human will, concentrated into light, and the asteroid moved. They call it the Axis shock. I call it proof. Proof that the Psycoframe doesn't just connect a pilot to a machine. It connects people to each other. And when enough people want the same thing badly enough, physics bends. Amuro and I are listed as missing in action. That's the official report. I'll let you decide what you believe. RX-93, Nu Gundam, Amuro's answer, Anaheim's masterwork, the machine that held the line when the line was the entire planet. The Nu Gundam isn't just for show. End transmission.